Next, Melanie Williams. It's a river basin planner in the Department of Environmental Quality, Division of Water Resources. She leads the department's user group for ArcGIS online applications.
I think we gotta, do you prefer that, Mike?
I think we lost your internet here. Which one's? Oh, it's over there. Hey, David.
Okay, hi, I am Melanie Williams, and I am with the Division of Water Resources in the Department of Environmental Quality. And so I just wanted to kind of introduce you guys to our open data page that we have just kind of put together. But to give you a little bit of a background of how we got here. We started with our department, we started with AGOL probably about 2015. It basically came out of a need to make online mapping services for a large number of our groups that we all had a need for, but we were all kind of going in multiple directions. So we found out that we had access to AGOL and decided that that is the direction that we wanted to go. So we started kind of forming a group of users. We don't actually have a GIS branch in DEQ. So this is kind of a grassroots, those of us that use GIS on a daily basis, and it's all about 5% of each of our jobs. So we all had to kind of pull our resources and come together and figure out exactly how this worked. So some of the hurdles that we were kind of running into were one that we had very little staff time to do all of this. So we really were working off each other's knowledge, and we still do this on a monthly basis, get together and figure out what's going wrong, what's going good, and just collaborate. So we also wanted to make sure that we were staying in sync with NC1 Map, because we know that a lot of our users are getting their data off of NC1 Map, and we want to make sure that all of that data was not only up to date there, but from what we were serving off of AGOL as well. So that kind of led us to our open data page, which is what you see. And basically just going to kind of go over what we have available. So as you scroll down through the site, you'll find just a basic search window that will search all of our data. It's off of keywords and the title of the data layers. You can also search by a topic in case you're not really sure what you're looking for. And if you're not really sure what topic it would fall under, but you know what program or division houses the data, you can search by our division and programs as well. So as you scroll down a little bit farther, you'll see at least 4 of our current applications, and we're going to try and rotate these out on a regular basis, so you'll see some different ones. Right now, these are based off of the ones that are used the most. So the first one that you see is actually our beach access map that is definitely used more and more as it starts to get warmer. It's a fantastic application that coastal management makes, and I'm not sure if this is going to pull up. So each one of these points is a beach access of some point. It gives you all of the information related to that access point, as well as a picture. So all of the amenities, if it has bathrooms, if it has parking, anything like that. So next time you go to the beach, keep this in mind. Another one that is used quite a bit is our surface water classifications map. So if you ever fill out any kind of permits, a lot of times you're going to need to know the index number of a stream. So folks were calling up our branch quite often, our classifications branch quite often, and the majority of their job was just fielding these calls and telling people what index number their stream was on their property. So this was kind of a huge time reliever for them. And get our little disclaimer. And click on a stream, and we find out the river basin information. Second river basin information. It would help if I zoomed in. So the stream index number, the name, and a classification. And if you don't know what that classification means, you have a link that will define that for you. We also have our regional office map. I won't open this, it's very basic. If you're looking for contact information for a regional office, click on the map, you can find it. And it highlights all the counties that it covers. If you're looking for your hydrologic unit code, your HUC number, find your HUC is it's pretty useful. It goes all the way from the 8-digit down to the 12-digit HUC codes. So we also have set up a listserv. So if you're wondering what new data layers are coming out, what new applications are coming out, we're going to try and keep all of that information coming out on our listserv. So you know what's going on. Right now, since we've just kind of started this effort, we're kind of slowly releasing our data, kind of data set by data set, especially considering that not very many of us have time to just throw all of our effort into making sure that all of our data sets have the metadata that's needed and that it's fully usable and there's no errors in it. So we're doing this as we can. We have, I think, maybe about 40 data sets up there so far. If you do find errors in them, we are very interested and would like to know. So you can contact us at the bottom of the page. Send us a question, your concerns. If you're looking for an application that you would find very useful, send us a suggestion and let us know. So we're trying to get an email address set up that's a broad email address that goes to several of us, like the NCDOT folks, but as of right now, it goes to me. So I will try and get you to the person that knows your data best. Okay, so I'm going to dive into this side a little bit. I'm going to go to water because that's what I know. So if you're going by topic, what you're going to see listed out are all of the data layers that are tagged with water. So if it has anything to do with water, hopefully it'll be here. You can also find additional tags here that might help you narrow down your search a little bit farther. So you know it has to do with water and you know it has to do with education or a river. You can select one of these and narrow it down a little bit farther. You can also use the content type is rather useful as well. So if you know you're looking for an application instead of a layer, you can come down here and click on your web mapping applications. This is another one of the apps that I love that they did. The Artificial Reef Interactive Map. This is fun. You can click on it, zoom in, and it shows, it's not imagery. we're going to be able to find it, but if you're looking for a great fishing spot. You can zoom in, and sometimes they will have some imagery attached to it, but it's not at all of the spots yet. Anyways, it's a pretty neat application. We also have, for any of you educators out there, we have a lot of story maps on each one of our river basins. Our environmental education group has developed a story map for each one that walks you through different aspects of the river basins. And it's got a lot of great information about the river basin itself, like basic statistics, as well as ecology. They've also got some recreational information. I think it's down towards the bottom. But these are fun little applications as well. So moving forward, we're going to try to start uploading more and more data as we can get the metadata developed and a lot of these layers kind of QA/QC to make sure that we're not putting out erroneous data of any sort. We also, coming soon, we are working with CGIA to make sure that all of this data that's being presented here will be discoverable through NC One Map. So anytime we update it, it will be shown in NC One Map automatically. I don't know if anyone uses the permit tracker that we have on our site right now, but we are currently trying to get all of our maps that are on our DEQ site now converted from the Google Fusion Table maps into the AGOL maps, so hopefully you'll get much better response and speed out of those maps. One thing I did want to point out after DOT's presentation is that when you see owners of any of our data layers, as of right now, we don't really have a standard for our usernames. So it will be rather close to their professional name, but it's not necessarily obvious that it's an authoritative source. We just recently have been able to move to our enterprise logins. So these names will slowly start to migrate over to have an ending of ncdnr.gov. And yes, that is ncdnr.gov, not DEQ. They won't update that for us. That's okay. And also you will note that at the top in the address, the URL, I'm sure you cannot see that. That is data-ncdnr. We started this organization in Esri about 6 months before we changed our name, and Esri has assured us that we cannot change that now. So we are working on trying to come up with a URL solution to that, but as of right now, it is ncdnr. And I'll have cards up at the front that actually just has a QR code so that you can just scan it and it'll take you straight to the site. So with that, do you have any questions? Yeah.
Surface water classification application type, is that from the blue line stream location?
So the question was if you could use the surface water classification to determine where a blue line stream is. So we have a pretty big disclaimer with our surface water classification map data, and that is that we are going to show you to the best of our ability where those streams are, but they cannot, that particular layer cannot be used for any kind of legal determination as to where streams are. But it will be able to tell you what the index number is. So it's only streams that are named in North Carolina. So any streams that DEQ does not have an official name for will not show up on this map. So a lot of headwater streams that have not been mapped by us probably won't show up. Anybody else? Yeah. So we actually use the HUC layers that USGS provides to us. We have kind of been in discussion lately about taking kind of a snapshot of the HUC 12 layer as it is now and adopting it as our own and setting up a process in-house that will validate any changes that need to be made to the HUC 12 layer. That has not been started yet, but we're hoping to move on that rather quickly because it's something that is definitely needed. Anybody else? All right. Thank you.